Welcome in. Let the feeling begin as we welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, this is a place where we come to share. It's our secret place. It's our hidden knowledge place. It's our society of secretism. Did I say secretism or syncretism? Right? It's a place where we come get synced up into a unity consciousness and really look at divide and conquer as being something that others did and do, but we don't participate anymore. We're doing the inner work for healing. We're really comforting our inner child and going into our shadow self where all potential is in the shadow. And you go, well, it is? Yes, that's where the darkness is the all. Your subconscious is the biggest part of you that holds all your psychic abilities, plus all your aches and pains and sufferings and trauma, but also all your potents and potentials. Your potence is even there. And expansion. What if you go in and take that light of your conscious mind and start taking it and projecting it into your subconscious, and what do you start to see? What do you start to awaken? What do you start to massage? What do you take out of atrophy into building again? All right. But we're here. Look at what's behind me, these great colors of existence, of portal travel. But here's the deal. This is what we're calling traditional, the eve before Christmas, right? Christmas Eve, the 24th. Still deciding whether I put this out the day or that night. I'll decide when I go edit it and put it in. But why I'm saying that this video is about, is this Christmas or the winter solstice? Or actually, what is this all about between the two? Oh, some of you newbies may not fully understand this. Some of you vets probably know this and that's old school DBA. What are we talking about here? We're talking about we got some newer people and we're in the season. Let's reiterate it if you know it. Reiterate it again. But some who may be just walking and need a little clarity, you should be able to get it here on the difference. So we're going to share. You know I love to share. And we're going to do some sharing. Did I say Sharon? Like Sharon? Or Sharon? Like sharing? Giving, let me share some of my food with you. Right? Notice the wording. And then we have a Sharon. That's funny. You can see how this English language is something else. But anyways, we're going to start with some things here. Let's start with this at first. Is Christmas actually the winter solstice? These days, Christmas roughly coincides with the winter solstice. In ancient Rome, when people used a different version of the calendar called the Julian, the winter solstice fell on December 25th. So the two holidays were the same by one point in history. How winter solstice pagans influenced Christmas. False data! Which one came first? I know which one came first. Do you? Do you? It is the winter solstice. Yes. Christmas, do you think Christmas happened and everybody adopted it? No. A bunch of these practices on the winter solstice, really, that we have, were the practices for the winter solstice adopted by Christmas. When they pushed the agenda, as you ought to understand who is pushing the agenda, a religious group that's really, it's really government, a mint, connected to the mint, cloaking themselves in the Roman Empire, but now cloaking themselves in religion, saying, look at us. But really, it's the cloaked we took off. Us woke up and seen, it's you same ones who want to control and rule and create societies and dominate them. The Roman Empire. Yeah. See clearly, right? And this is what we got to see. The practices of Yuletide, giving gifts with something Saturnalia. The Yuletide practices of the winter solstice by different groups, right? Let me turn my phone down. Right, different groups. So we had a lot of different practices. And then when they tried to plunge us off, oh, this is Christmas, the people didn't buy it. In fact, they had to compromise taking on the winter solstice, what they call pagans. Look up that word pagan. It's not what you think it means. It means a villager. Somebody knows how to grow its own crops, so it's a farmer. Somebody knows how to make its own medicine out of herbs, which is a physician. Let the truth be told, here on West Coast Uncensored, we'll uncense that which is presented to you wrapped in a pocket of, and find out the ones who wrapped it were the yeah. It's a fact. Christmas comes from Christ Mass. What's Mass? You should be knowing by the cognitive understanding of putting things together. As dissonance in you, as you deprogram yourself, leaves like a mist. As you become the mystic with the mystery, as the mist leaves you, but then covers you so you're not seen, right? You can see that the Mass always goes with the church. Yippers, yippers, and yippers. So the Mass is really Christ Mass, and that's a place where you have the masses called their services. One group out of Christianity, whether it's Catholicism to, right, into Protestantism, only one of those groups call their services Mass. Everybody else calls their services or meetings. But ones have always been stuck with the word Mass because it's a Christ Mass. So you know where it comes from, right? There should be the giveaway where you go, ooh, we see who did this right away. There's some, follow the money and follow the crumbs of the words. We'll tell you and show you. So let's read a little farther. So they'll tell you, why was Christmas called the winter solstice? They're going to try to deny it, but here's what it is, and this is the truth. One widespread explanation of the origin of this date is December 25th was the Christianizing of the dies solis invicta, or the day, the birth of the conquered sun. And that's really what this is. I got all these others we're going to show. We're going to get into it. Inta, and then what is it called? Victus. There's a word, something, invictus. The conquered sun, because through the winter solstice process, let's go from fall, the season of fall, the sun's falling into winter. The fall season, that's why we have in the biblical saying, you fall from sin. Soul force. We fell from our state of spirit or matter, or not matter, spirit or energetic fields of souls into matter, the fall force. So we have a season called fall when the leaves turn brown and then they fall off. They just, and the tree doesn't go try to pick them up. Notice this. And we shouldn't go try to pick up things that fall from us that are no longer to require, as we've let it go and just let it drop, because it always renews. Something you let go will always come back to you if it's meant to come back to you. Remember that. Maybe not the same thing, but it may be another person. It may be another job. It may be another blessing. It could be something else, but you gave up something that you needed to give up to get, and it will reward you later. It's a cycle. It's cyclical, right? And in the cyclical spiral and processing of this, what happens is fall, you have fall. You have a judgment in one, right? The judgment comes, and then you have scorpions show up. What's a scorpion do? Scorpion brings a tail up around and stings you, and when you get stung, it leaves a kiss mark, the kiss of death. The scorpion is stinging the sun to death, to the death of winter, to the 3 days in the tomb, which is December 21st through 24th, raising again a movement the 25th. This really is what Christmas is about. It's not really about a man, I'm just going to be honest, dying, because that's not the story. Not at all. Dying for your sins. He's not a scapegoat. You're never disconnected. Yeah, we don't play games, we uncensor today. I'm going to take your faults and give you the reality of what this is. The pain of truth will be the reward of growth. When you realize that which you thought was is not, and it dissolves like a old leaf that turned brown after it was green and gave much fruit at one time during a season, and then went to judgment, right? Light as a feather, and then went to the scorpion. The scorpion gave it a kiss of death, the scorpion. That's why your man in the story, what Judas kissed Jesus on he represented the scorpion, the kiss of death. Then through that fall, you have a man going like this, shooting the sun down to die. And then it finally dies in the death of winter. On the 21st, it doesn't have no movement. This is science. From the 21st to the 24th and the 25th, it starts to move again towards the goat. The goat starts to walk upward. Goats are great mountain climbers. What's that goat doing? The goat's walking up the mountain because the goat's intention in December 21st, right? Which is the sign of the goat, the symbol of the astrology sign of the goat. Where is it walking to? It's walking to, behold, all things come new. It's walking you into springtime when another cycle comes after the death. Then you have the rebirth, and that's what the goat represents. So this is what really Christmas is. It's the death of the sun. They used it as another way, but really it's the S-U-N, the light of the world. In this reality, it's the light. You take the sun out of here, you don't got much time, right? And nobody's sufficient anymore on this plane. So Solus Invictus, that's what it's called, the unconquered sun, because the sun always gets reborn on the 25th. That's where the Christian story of the 3 days in the tomb, raising again, is exactly about the sun, Sol Invictus. That story, which is not a Gnostic story, which is a Rome story. Get it? Then that should make sense to you. I'm just being honest. And we're going to talk about this. There was 3 wise men, right? We're talking about the 3 wise men that gave him the sign that the Christ was being birthed in the New Testament sign. Well, I'm here to tell you about that sign and the 3 wise men and who were the 3 wise men. According to interpretations, the wise men in the Bible, often referred to as the Magi, are symbolically connected to the stars, particularly those who might appear prominently around the winter, with the star Bethlehem representing a celestial event that guided them to the birthplace of Jesus. It is not widely accepted interpretation. Most scholars view the story as a theological narrative rather than a lyrical, but yeah, they would. That's the dogma right there. Scholars with dogma. Like I said, when we get into going to Bible school and scholarly school of the Bible, they have to go to seminary school, right? You know that, right? If you don't, you're going to know it now. Guess what seminary school is? I've broken it down. The word seminary means, in etymology, is sperm. Cum school. So you're going to go to cum school to learn about this guy coming out of the clouds and being birthed by a virgin, which nobody can be birthed by a virgin. That's impossible. It's not science to be birthed by a virgin. Women do not have babies without a male being part of it. That's why this is not a Gnostic story. The Gnostics would never tell you the story, but then it came later. Would. So really, yeah, seminary school is semen school. Semen's a seed. That's why I say to them, I don't go around debating, but I said, when I attack, go for the juggler right away. Go, you went to cum school. It's the truth. That's what it is. Seminary semen school. Yappers, and yappers. This is when you start, this inner knowledge, when you get awakened, you get that spark of light giving you information, your intuition, your spirit of wisdom, revelation kicking up, where you're getting information all the time from the energetic fields passing your knowledge and activating you. You understand that this is a system. This would be the indoctrination used. The Magi were associated with studying the stars, which is, yes, reading the heavens for guidance, right? The story of Matthew describes a birthplace. Symbolic is the story So we're going to go into what really those three stars are. The three stars, right? The three stars are easiest way to find Orion, because they're Orion, is on a clear night. And the three stars of Orion are the stars of Bethlehem, or the stars of the observance of the story. The three stars could symbolize a guidance to finding one's way. Finding one's way to the Christ would be the appropriate, because it's Christ in you. Christ is an oil, not a person. Hear what I'm saying? You never find the Christ as a person. The Christ is everybody has the ability to awaken the Christ. Like Buddha said, why are you looking at me and calling me Buddha? You could be Buddha, because in Buddha means enlightened one. When you have the enlightened, it's a golden ratio of light, not a white light. White light's false. That's why many people said, I've seen the light and I went to it. And you're recycled again, because the white light is the lowest form of light. There's many colors of light, as we've seen in the chakras. And behind me, you're seeing a green and a blue and an orange behind me. And definitely a green and a blue. And behind me is that white light can be the false light, because it's the most fragmented light. It still deals with fragmentation. That's why the golden light is turning the gold, silver, metals into gold in alchemy, because the gold light is the enlightenment color of enlightenment, which would be the guiding force here, representing the family. The three stars represents the family members of the son, or the child, the mother, or the father. And let's see, these three stars, right? We'll go a little higher. These are Orion's belts, these three stars. The Magi, the three Magi's, I believe it's three, are the three stars in the story. It's not really, this is a story, it's not history. Again, we need to know what we know. The Bible is 98.5 added to and deleted from, yeah. Finding truth in the Bible is like finding a needle in the haystack. The difference between you guys and people like us is we see the golden ratio, so we know what we're looking for in the straw. So we see all this puff stuff in the Bible that means nothing, and then we say, oh, there's what I'm looking for. This is the golden nugget. This is the golden ratio. This is golden truth in here. Here's enlightenment scripture that gives you enlightenment. Now we're talking. So the three wise men were the three stars. They were Orion's belt, right? The rising, as the three rise in the evening sky, December 24th, they supposed to point to the dawn of the morning on the 25th. The 3 days, the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. The winter solstice is in what they call no movement zone. That's why they called it in the tomb. The ancients called this thousands and thousands of years ago. The sun's not moving because it's in the tomb, way before our religion, what we know as Christianity, light years, thousands of years before that. They recognized this aspect of the Magi did. And the 3 days on December 25th, it has movement again. And they would say, the sun, the Solar Invictus, he's come out of the tomb, the unconquered sun, which is your sun in the sky. Yeah. Remember, that's what the Romans are into, and then your religion is comes from Roman Christianity. It's very, the pieces are there to put it together where it came from and the influences before. Because this is ancient knowledge, not something new. Ancient knowledge revisited, ancient technology revisited. Let's go down. We said we read here. What is the spiritual meaning of the constellations? Healing, light, and frequency towards Earth. What is the spiritual significance of Orion's belt for humans? Orion's is healing, light, frequency towards the Earth. When I hear those three aspects, I think of immediately the alchemical process, because you need to heal the shadow self by frequency and towards the earth. And frequency is light, right? Light. We're looking for the golden enlightenment, not chasing the false light of fragmentation, which that will lead you into the recycling. And let's do it again, Jack. You know, let's go get up and do it again, because that's what happens to us through always recycling into these realities when we're not having the amnesia and not really budging our consciousness in many lifetimes, then we need something to come and wake us up deeply out of the sleep. And that's usually where experience will come, where though you'll have your higher self spirit guides come and say, hey, we got to shake you up. You're not moving, buddy. You need to get an enlightenment going. And the servitude of the enlightenment factor needs to be waking up in you. Because if you monitor any of your lives and had experiences, you know that you've probably been here, did this before, similar to where you are now. Now you took a step forward. Watch this. Through the center of these three stars, which make up the celestial known as Orion's belt, he offers up help with clearing, energy clearing, and protection, releasing dark and negative energies. This definitely is it goes back into what we talked yesterday about the Sufis, or a couple days ago about the Sufis, that it was about the soul being regenerated through being cleansed. You know, where our souls are being cleansed by the gold coming forth out of that, the golden divinity coming out of the metal humanity, lowest density humanity, carnal, lowest density of the 3D reality. So yeah. And that's what's so good about this, is that when you start seeing this, see, it's the second one. I did the winter solstice. Let me see what the second one is. I think we did it. We went there and we went there. So yeah, we covered it. I just wanted to cover this because since we're on the 24th and it's everybody, they got us, we're all Christmas Evers, all our families, you know, we experienced it. You see how I disappeared? Wow. I got raptured and I came back. I got raptured. I hope this is on the video, because in the recording I disappear and now I come back when I put my hands out, like giving myself up. I fly away, and then I go in the mist and you can't see me. I'm lost in the mist or behind me, and then I come out of the mist. I love that. But you guys have a great day. But really, this was about the winter solstice, showing you Christmas is nothing but, and the story is connected to the winter solstice. Yeah. It's not a historical thing. The Christ is oil. That's why they have Crisco. Christ, the same word. Krishna, when you go in the Greek and you look up the word Krishna, Krishna means Christ. It's the same Greek word as Jesus Christ, is Hare Krishna, because it's about the oil flowing, your spinal fluid flowing, descending and ascending and bursting and giving you a Christ. Consciousness as he appears, giving you a Christ. Consciousness as he reappears. I hope this is on the video. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. I'll have to explain it again. But while I'm recording this, I disappear and appear with movements of my hand. So hopefully this shows up on the video too. But you guys have a great day. See it disappear and appear again after I shut down the share. But you guys have a great day.